Hello, Carl from CWD. Today I'm going to do a video showing you the build of a 3 metre by 1.5 metre, 1 metre deep railway sleeper pond kit. We've got all the sleepers over here, got some more over there. Bit of pipe going out today as well from an order we just had. So this one's got 2 windows. The way that we design them is you can then face the windows wherever you want. So I'll show you a bit later on what I mean by that. We'll give you 2 bird's eye view maps of the pond, and then you build it. So if you want your window facing a certain way, you just basically follow the map and you face the window wherever you want as you build it. So yeah, let's get on. I'm going to get some wood cut and I'm going to get the first few pieces down now. Hello. Right, phone stopped ringing now. I had my lunch. So what we are going to show you, well, I'm going to show you, is the first level has been laid on this. So this is a 3 metre side and that's the 1.5 metre side. So the internals of this, you take 40 off. So it's 110 centimetres or 1100 mil this way. On the 3 metre side, it's 2.6 on the internal. So that's how much water space you get. And then the next level goes on top of this and it interlocks. So what I'll do, I'll lay the next level on there now, and then I can show you what it looks like when we've got the second level on there. Because you don't actually start screwing in until you've got the second level on, because you don't screw into the ground, you don't need to, it's strong enough. Just sitting on the ground, it's going to be absolutely fine, especially with the 8-inch thick walls. It'll be fine. That's the sound of an order going through, so we like them sounds. Keep them coming, please.
So once you get your first layer down, all you've got to do is just interlock and make sure that the pieces are going the opposite way. So on the left hand side you can see you've got the end of a piece of wood and the side of a piece of wood, and it'll just repeat like that, like a brick pattern all the way up. Make sure you use a rubber mallet, that's what I'm telling you there. Don't use a metal, otherwise you'll have a load of holes, well, a load of like dents on your wood on the outside. You don't want that, you want to avoid it.
Right, so I've done these 2 corners there. So that's what you want. You want them interlocking so you can see an end. Sorry, the camera's a bit rubbish there. So you want them interlocking so you can see an end there. The next layer down you can't. And then it's just going to be a pattern like that all the way up. You can see we've got a small piece down there. So when you're screwing that, what you're best off doing is getting the end piece so it's nice and flush here. So I've normally got it at a wider camera angle than this, so I'm messing this video up a little bit. But yeah, make sure that you've got that nice and flat. It's the outside that you can see, so if the inside's got a little bit of a weird bit or anything, don't worry about it. Like I said, all sleepers are different sizes anyway. Make sure the outside looks as good as you can. Them cuts look pretty good there. There's not much of a gap there, is there? That looks alright. And because you dry stacking this first, you can see how it's going to look. Sometimes it might step out ever so slightly more on one area, just because some of them might be, like the width can be 200, it can be 195, but we can't really do much about that. That's just how sleepers are in the UK. So this looks like it's slightly out of square because I can see it's a bit wider there than it is there. So what I'll do, just to try and square the pond up, I'll get this one in first actually. And when you've got a small piece and then meeting a long piece, try and match them up with that bit of timber there. It might seem obvious to some people, but some others it isn't, so that's why I say it, because we've had that in the past where they're struggling because it's like a bit bowed on one side. So then you can also just look from this side to the other, and you can kind of eye up and see whether it's straight. If you look straight by your eye, you're pretty much sorted, because they are like rustic ponds. They're not going to be absolutely perfect. Like with a block pond or a concrete pond, you can get things, bang on. But with sleepers, it can be a bit more difficult. So once you've got it all So it looks like this corner just needs to come this way a bit, the whole thing. So I'm just gonna whack that one down there. So you get your corners to look nice like that, nice and plumb. And then this gap here is closed now, so that's what we want. You can, what we used to advise, you don't so much anymore, because people, again, we're getting a bit precious with it, and you know, it's like 2 and a bit centimetres out on the diagonals and things, but it's not really going to make that much of a difference. As long as it looks good and you're happy with it, it's normally going to be square enough. So that is the second layer sorted. So now you start screwing. So the screws, I've got another 2 pallets of screws. We've got 2 lengths of screws. We've got 150mm screws, and we've got 250mm screws. So we don't need these yet, they're for around the window. So when you fit in your window frame, where you're gonna have a gap there, aren't you? You fill that gap and you frame that with sleepers, so it's not complicated at all. I can show you that bit later on. Use 150mm screws, and you're best off starting at the end, because then you know that's not moving, it's not going anywhere. So we have 1 screw there and 1 screw there. So pretty much every corner is going, well, every corner will actually have 4 screws. And we work it in 2s. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it'll be like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there'll be 10 screws in this length, 10 screws in that full piece, and then there'll be 4 screws in this little piece here. So all you do, just stand on top of it. Normally I just kneel down on top of it with my impact driver. You can just push it down, give it a little twist, and then it should just stay there. Then you get your impact driver on there and just whack it in. Have a look, because when the have a look down the side. Sometimes when you're using the impact driver, the vibrations can knock it off a bit. So when you are in and you've got about this much left, just have a look, because you can see that's how deep the screws go in. When it's got about another 2 or 3 inches to go, have a look, make sure that it's still where you want it, and then once it's gone through, it's not going to move, and then you can put it all the way in. Hope that makes sense. But yeah, I'm going to get the window section. So I've got another 2 layers to put, because this is going to be 100 centimeters deep, so that's 10 levels. There's 4 levels where there's no window included, and then the next 6 makes the 10 levels. The next 6 levels include the window. So I'll show you what that looks like. We're going to build the whole pond, because with it being a 2 window pond, they do look quite good. So I like to build these so you can see what they look like. But yeah, that's it from this stage. So I've got to build the next 2 levels, and then I've got to figure out the window gaps. So here we go. So pond kit has been built. There it is. I'll give you a little tour of it. So it's got 2 windows, so you can kind of see right through there. So that's a 1.5 metre side, and that's a 3 metre side. So we like the look of the rectangle shaped ponds. We think they look really nice. The 4x3s, the 3x2s are our most popular size. I think this is one of the first 3x1.5 that we've done, especially with 2 windows anyway. Never made this particular pond before. So the way that it works is, this is your window recess. So the piece of glass that you get will fit behind these bits here. It'll sit on this bit of timber here, and you glue it to these bits of timber. So before, if we can squeeze around there, I showed you some longer screws, which are these, and we've got tons of them. Don't know if it's a bit dark for you to see. No, it's not. It's fine. But we've got tons of them, and we've also got two pallets of them over there, double stacked too. So yeah, I think we've got 50,000 screws left, so we're not going to be running out anytime soon. So the longer screws, these are 250mm long, so they can go in. They could go in sideways like that, but that's not what we're using them for. We're using them around the window, so they're going to make that absolutely solid. The 150mm I'd stop around about here, so you get that extra bit of metal in there, extra bit of bolt, and that will hold everything absolutely bang on. When you're screwing the window bit together, you put 2 screws in there, and then they're hidden by that bit of timber, so it looks nice and tidy. And then on this one you'd have 8, so you'd have 4 more screws visible. Sorry, I'm not used to this, not wide angle. So you'd have 4 screws here, and then you'd have another 2 there. And then on the uprights you'd have 6 either side, so you'd have 2 at the bottom, 2 in the middle, 2 at the top. Make sure, because as you can see this is sticking out a little bit, make sure when you're screwing them in that you're, if anything, angling it a bit this way rather than this way, because we've had a few pictures of customers where they've, you know, drilled right through, it's just sticking out the side like that. That's not how you want it. So yeah, the one at the back, not so much a problem. The one at the front, just angle it in slightly and you'll make sure you're going into that timber. You might not be able to fully countersink these ones. Well, that doesn't matter. The ones at the bottom, as long as you're not on a knot like this, they will countersink quite easily, especially if you're using a decent impact driver. But yeah, these ones at the side, because you're going into the end there, you're not going this way, you don't get as much grip. That's why we're using the longer screws. So if anyone's got any questions or anything like that, let us know. This is a pond through another retailer, because we sell them through other retailers as well. As far as I know, we're the only manufacturer of these type of ponds in the UK or anywhere else really. There's a few people that do sell them. Complete Coin Aquatics, if you're around the Bolton area, Complete Coin Aquatics have got a small one. It's probably about half the size of this, maybe even a bit smaller, maybe about a third the size. But they've got one set up as a little show pond, and if you're around that area, you can buy it through them, you can ask them questions and they can help you out. But yeah, that's a 3 metre by 1.5 and it's 1 metre deep.